Being able to do business as a bank is something that more and more banks are very afraid of. We are getting more and more new facts. That new fact will be talked about in this video. We'll also look at Ripple's new study on digital assets and banking, as well as how regular banks are putting money into blockchain. We can learn a lot about where the room is going and how to make the most of it from this. We'll also look at more information about Ripple and the people it works with. When the show is over, we'll talk about how businesses that work with the Treasury are buying XRP to use with dollar bills. Okay, let's start. This is the report. It's 12 pages long. I didn't read the whole report to you, of course, because I value your time so much, I only skimmed it to get to the most important parts. Now let's begin. Making progress on rules and getting institutions to accept them. There have been a lot of changes to rules all over the world, like the U.S. Genius Act of 2025 and new advice from the FDIC and SEC, as well as simpler rules in the EU, Dubai, and Singapore. Banks can now look into digital assets and help people with them more easily. So we've talked about this for a long time. I told you that banks would be lining up to offer crypto services to their customers in 2022 and 2023. People with a lot of money at the bank or businesses that do business with banks will usually be the only ones who can use these services. First, these services will be given to those groups. After that, they will be given to regular holders who aren't in private banks or other groups like those. Yes, this is how banks do it. People who they think will use the new tech the most get it, right? Banks get paid when people leave their money there. After that, they give the money to other people and get paid back. Let's keep going, though, since more and more people want them. Banks are putting money into the blockchain area and offering products for crypto exchanges. There were more than 10,000 deals that raised more than $100 million for blockchain companies between 2020 and 224. In 219 of those deals, giant rounds of more than $100 million were raised. Most of the money that goes into blockchain is in the US, but it's also growing in Singapore, Canada, and the UK. This is happening all over the world right now. Everywhere there is government, people are trying to figure out how to make the most of the next boom. It's crazy how fast the internet has grown and how many people use it now. They would all be on it if they could connect to it all the time, 7 days a week. Let's be honest. More and more people will do it for. There are plans for banks and other financial institutions to get into cryptocurrency. Up to 100 million more people will use blockchain in the next few years. You've already beaten the institutions, so now you'll beat everyone else for good. This is how rich people always get rich. You hope and pray you have the right tools if you want to get there first. Let it go, sweetheart. We are going to do that. How to use and plan for blockchain. World institutions put 345 blockchain companies, most of them in their early stages seed or series. A round that shows their plans are in line with how technology will change in the future. Because blockchain companies are new, banks would rather work with them or invest in them than buy them out. In what are known as mega rounds, banks put a lot of money into trade systems. 27% were payments, 24% were storage for digital goods, and 21% were other things. They want to put their money into this more than anything else. Together, these costs make up about 60% to 70% of what banks spend on equipment and storing digital information. Assets at the moment. Among the big players are Japan's SBI Group, Goldman Sachs, and Thailand's SCB-10X. The CloudWalk cost $312 million in Brazil, with $444 million coming from BTG, Practical, Banco, and Safra. It was one of the very best deals ever. It's hard for me to remember names. I'm really sorry. It was killed many times. Italy Solaris, the 104 million series led by SBI Group, and the New York Department of IG. The amount of money put in dropped in 2022 and 2023. The market was empty. Not too long ago, in April 2022, there was the Tranluna crash. Then Sam Bankman-Fried pretty much ruined what was left of the cryptocurrency market. This was the worst thing that had ever happened to everyone, but because the prices of crypto assets were so low, it was also the best time to buy them. Do you hear this? The market will go down at the end of this year or the next. Hopefully at the start of next year. When prices go down again, you should pay attention and get in, because the next run-up will be the run for everyone. I think that Raoul Pal and these other big macro traders and investors are telling us that the crypto market could hit $100 trillion by 2033. You need to be here right now to be a part of that. It stands for blockchain and globally systemically important banks. Between 2020 and 2024, XIBs, Oregon Big Global Banks, put money into 106 blockchain deals. This was done in 14 mega rounds. Most of the time, these purchases were made through partnerships, purchases made in groups instead of one at a time. Instead of spending a lot of money all at once, these banks would rather work with other banks. Instead of 100 million, get 25 million with your cash. That makes more sense. One project is the tokenized gold that HSBC has set for retail and business clients, which uses blockchain technology and quantum secure technology. Blockchain lets markets run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, handle payment, free up liquidity, and lower costs. It also leads to more protection and innovation and makes sure that everyone has the same access to goods. Putting real things like gold and stocks into digital tokens is what tokenization means. One thing that banks are looking into is this. By 2030, it could be worth more than $18 trillion. Over the years, this number has changed a lot. This number will keep going up as rules and roadblocks are taken away. A lot of people still don't know how to keep track of the things that are sold on a blockchain. Something you just sold can be changed hands, both on chain and in real life. Getting rid of these third parties that have been checked out lets people save a lot of money. These are the only things you need. These days, you don't need a third party because both sides take care of everything. The best security is quantum hard-end encryption. I made a movie about quantum computers and how they will change the way money works. If you're interested, Cass will put a link to that video here. Remember to be careful if that video doesn't come out until this one does. When you hear my voice on, that video should be out in 2 days. This one, laws and rules play a part. Rules and standards like MECA and DTI from ISO are becoming very important for banks to work together, grow, and keep risk under control. It's important.